Well, we haven't come to talk about that. We've come to talk about going places, and we've come to talk about the FlyHenry.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This should be my last video of 2024, but it is still a video from Derbyshire, and I'm going to talk about two things. Well, it's also going to be talking about enjoying the sunshine that we haven't seen in a while at the moment, but I'm going to do a long flight up to the dams, and I'm also going to touch on the FlyHenry system that I've been using and the support that I've had from Albion Aviation Services. So hopefully if you've got or are interested in the FlyHenry, this might be useful, because I've been using it a while now and I had some great support from them, and I'm finally happy with how it's working. I'm also going to talk about the Flylight NiNE and my thoughts on that. I've owned it for over a year now, and as I say, just want to give you a little bit more of an update of my thoughts on the NiNE, and as I say, just taking you on a journey across Derbyshire up to the Lady Bower Dam. You've seen it on a few other videos before, but this was just me going, stretching my legs, getting away from the circuit and actually going somewhere and seeing how the NiNE performs on a long flight. I think by the end it was about 1 hour 20 all in by the time I'd done engine start to engine off rather than the actual flight time itself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope your year has been good, and I hope that 2025 will give us a lot more flying. So enjoy the rest of the video.
Please. As the mags are on, and we're going to go for a clear prop with the chokers on. Clear prop! And the choke is off. Keep it there for warming up. Right, okay. It's quite nice at the minute. It's not actually that cold. Although I'm all togged up. Ask me at the end of the flight, but it is quite nice to be. It is quite nice to not have a chill on the face at the moment. Okay, should we go fly? Let's do it. And there's a balloon over there. I think it's a balloon anyway. Right then. Now hopefully I'll get back before whatever looks like a bit of rain is coming this way. So departure time from the airfield is 16:16. Going for 16:17. Let's see what time we get back. It's about a 60-mile round trip. I will confirm the distance when I do my my Sky Demon tracker on the screen, but I just want to get out of circuit. I want to go somewhere I know, but also easy to navigate, and just get away from the airfield. It is nice when you can get to the end of the day and just sort of let go of the bar, apart from minor changes. Nice little cruise climb. So, instrumentation. You may have seen a previous video where I've fitted the MGL blaze to my machine. I can honestly say, the first time I used it, I was trying to get reference figures for landing. It completely screwed up my landing. I wasn't impressed because I was trying to watch that and see what was doing. When I stopped watching the airspeed indicator and flew how I would normally fly an aircraft in terms of bar position and feel with the picture, landed fine. So looking at an airspeed indicator on a flex wing for landing makes no sense whatsoever. As long as it's trimmed for the right speed, the aircraft will tell you what's going on. So, but we haven't come to talk about that. We've come to talk about going places, and we've come to talk about the FlyHenry. Now for a little while I've had a few issues with mine, and the main one was the tank calibration. I could not get mine to calibrate at all. I did tests, sent videos back to Albion, who then sent them on to FlyHenry, who couldn't work out what was happening. sent me another probe, thought it might have been a damaged probe. 2 probes, same result, it wouldn't calibrate. Now, on the screen, you will see it's a capacitance stick. So the higher the fluid, it changes the capacitance, and you calibrate it. Calibrate it empty with no fuel on the stick. You calibrate it halfway up within a region, and then at the top, but not over this little hole. There's a little hole, again, I'll show you a little picture of that. And so, I couldn't get it to do it with the original module. Now, the FlyHenry system is not all up at the front, and it's not all at the back. It's 2 different things. So at the front, as you'll see on the screen, is what we call the head unit. I don't know what they call it, but I'm calling it like the head unit. It's the bit you interface with, it's the bit you see, and it's the thing that, you know, helps you know what's going on. So I've got cylinder head temperature, exhaust gas temperature, water temperature, RPM, volts, flight timer, and fuel tank contents from calibration. No figures, just a little bar, so you kind of know what's going on. And so, okay, let's just reduce the old go-go juice a little bit. There we go, start levelling off, about 6.4, 6.5. So yeah, and at the back is this little module, which is great, because all the cables, especially in this type of aircraft, are going to be right near the engine. And so, where you connect everything to, it's got really short cable runs, and it all plugs into this little module, which has half the power circuit. And so, that does all the thinking, and there's a multi-core cable that runs to the front, and that tells this what that's receiving. Fantastic when it works. Mine wasn't working, and I said early on I had to give a big shout out to Albion, who have helped me every stage and have now got my FlyHenry system working, and I'm really, really pleased with that. So I have everything I needed to do, everything I need, and the main thing for me is RPM, and for this engine, exhaust gas temperature. Not saying I'm glued to it, but I'd like to know what's going on with the old exhaust gas. That's the thing that's going to put me in a field if I have to do an emergency landing. Anyway, so until about 2 flights ago, I've never known my fuel contents, which is a bit unnerving when you've always had systems that tell you. Even the Tiggy was great, the Tiggy 1 system, fantastic, just told me how much I was using, etc. This has got a lot more than I'm actually using. It's got oil temperature, it's got oil pressure, it's got fuel flow, 4 temperature probes. I'm only using 3, so I blanked one out. I've been really impressed with the system, excluding the fuel probing, the fuel tank contents, which people will go, you know what you're burning, then start a stopwatch, which I always fly with a watch. Know your time, know when you left. In short, I was really pleased when all I did was plug in the new module, calibrate it, didn't have to recycle it or anything, it just worked. And as I was draining the fuel out, you can see it decrement, line by line by line. Happy bunny, if that makes sense. Happy bunny. The FlyHenry Flymeter, so there's 2 versions. There's the PPG meter, which a few of my friends have used for years. Exactly the same system, but just runs off batteries. The problem with that is, if the batteries run out, you lose your system. And for me, with this engine, I'd rather it be running off 12 volts. But it's great that it's all in one display, it's backlit, it's really bright, I've got the sun beating on it right now and I can see everything. So there's no issues with terms of angle, where I'm sitting. I'm not saying I've got perfect vision, but I'm probably, about 18 inches from it. Everything is completely readable, and I'm really impressed with that. So, would I buy another one? Yes I would. Are they a bit expensive for what they are? Name another system out there that does what this does. And what I was impressed with was all the other temperature sensors that are plugged in. So my engine comes with the Polini exhaust gas temperature probe. So sensor wise, I had to buy the Polini sensor. The FlyHenry came with a cylinder head temperature, and the engine already came with its own water probe. So you didn't quite know whether they were going to work or not. Plugged it all in, worked straight away. Completely happy. And did some measuring temperatures to make sure it was actually reading correctly. That's the main thing. There's no point plugging a probe in and not knowing whether that probe is reading the correct temperatures. Otherwise, there's no point having the information. You've got to make sure it's good. That's the FlyHenry side of things. Generally really impressed with that. Now, it's been pretty much a year, almost a year, that I've owned the NiNE. I've only got about 25 hours on it, or thereabouts, by the time this video goes out. Am I impressed with it? Yes. Is it a PB? No, it's not. The one thing I've found now is, with a NiNE, you kind of got to go places. It's not a bumbling machine. It's not going for a bumble. It's going for a buzz. It's probably the next one. I'm going for a buzz because you're off. Yeah, I am genuinely impressed with it. It's taken Paul and myself places. The NiNE wing, the NiNE trike for me because Paul's using his BBB trike. Yeah, love this screen. Makes a huge, huge difference. I don't feel I'm getting battered. They say we're doing 59 miles an hour at the moment, 58, hands-off trim. There we go, 57, 58, 59. So, in reality, it is going places. I mean, how long have I been in the air now? Can't see the clock. I've been in the air, what's that time? Left the circuit 10 minutes ago. I'm already north of Carsington Water in 10 minutes. So let's see if I can do a go-to. So even though I'm crosswind at the moment, my ground speed is 52 miles an hour, 53 miles an hour. Airspeed is 60. So yeah, it will be quite interesting on the way back. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, just gently, gently cruising up. The one thing I did make the mistake with, when I calibrated the tank, I had the nose wheel on the floor. When you drill for the airspeed indicator, you have to raise it 100-150 mil up, because that's the angle that the aircraft sits at in flight. I forgot to calibrate the tank for the flight conditions. So the moment you take off, it looks like you lose a load of fuel, but you don't. So I might have to recalibrate the tank. But again, the system of the FlyHenry for doing anything is really, really intuitive. It gives you menus, and there's 2 buttons. If you get it wrong, go back in and do it again. Yep, Bakewell on the nose. Chatsworth House is over there. If you want to see the video where I fly to Chatsworth House with Paul, on the screen now, be up there. What a lovely, lovely evening. It's one of those evenings you just want to put some epic tunage in your helmet and just go off and fly and enjoy the time. So I'm going to shut my main cameras down and I'll leave you with the wingtip cam. So see you in a bit. Whichever camera's got me at the moment. Darley Moore's ahead. I know Mark and Ed are doing an aircraft check flight this evening. Just keeping an eye out for them. I'm going to wrap up the video, maybe leave you with a little bit of the circuit. I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit of reminiscing for me, enjoying the view. This cloud, this sun, oh, just the views at the minute is just magnificent. And so I always feel that the cameras never ever do it justice. I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt around Derbyshire up to the dams, a little bit of instrumentation. I never really talked much about the NiNE, so having owned it for a year, I am enjoying it. I think it would actually require a whole video to really talk about the nuances, but everybody that is flying the NiNE is thoroughly enjoying it, and everybody that's flying a PB is also enjoying it, but there is a crossover between the two. Enough of my chunterings. If the cameras run out at the end, we may do an outro on the ground. Oh, Flexwing's taxiing back in. Fuel, going to go around awareness there on the deck. Wind is lovely, very light now. Just checked, got nearly 25 hours on the engine now. Lovely landing, and then it got all wobbly on the ground.
So I hope you enjoyed that video and the context with the FlyHenry and my thoughts on the Flylight 9. I'd say it's probably the best single seat deregulated vehicle I've flown. For those that are in America that don't know what SSDR stands for, apart from single seat deregulated, I'll put a link in the description to give you a little bit more information. It's probably very similar to your Part 103. So this wraps up this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the comments and see you in 2025.